Started small in a quiet yard. 400 roses working hard. Every morning I breathe them in, learning stories on the wind. Sommelier heart with a nose for truth. Fragrance taught me more than youth. Now I share them one by one. Old souls shine in the sun.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. I had one of those bright ideas, and I thought I would share it before I forget about the roses I have bought in the newest order. But I hope Christmas is doing okay for everyone. Here people are eating so much Danish Christmas food, and it is always this combination of sugar and fat, There's no chance or risk, depending on how you look at it, that anyone leaves a Danish Christmas table and they're still hungry. It is simply impossible. But without further delay, let's get started here and let's take a look at the new list. Don't tell anyone this, but sometimes even sommeliers can buy bad wine, and I think I had a why not moment with this one, and it was kind of interesting, and it was sitting there, and I haven't tried a lot of new wine recently, so I thought why not, and turns out that was a bad decision. Who would have thought? But I also had a why not moment when I was browsing some French rose websites. And I saw something interesting that really piqued my curiosity, because it has been no secret that I've had a really hard time finding a good fragrant red rose. And some of you have mentioned Crimson Glory and a few others, but I haven't been able to find Crimson Glory on sale yet. But I came across something else that really caught my eye. But let's write it in here, and it was Botero Grimpard. If I can write it here, yeah, it is in French. For those who don't know, it essentially means a climbing red perfume de Provence. I kid you not, when I was browsing these French websites, I came across something called a climbing red perfume de Provence. And if you know anything about me, I really love red perfume de Provence. So to see a climbing version of it, I instantly had to get that rose. I simply did, because I know that red perfume de Provence has such a wonderful scent. It likes to bloom, and it is very healthy for a red rose. So if they have managed to just make this one 80% of what the other one is, this will be an amazing red climbing rose. Like, red perfume de Provence is one of my all-time favorite red roses, and to see that in a climbing rose when I was browsing these French websites, of course I had to get that. But I also saw something called Edith Piaf, after the singer. And Edith Piaf is actually not a terrible fragrant red rose either. And I saw that also in a climbing rose, browsing these French websites. And you know me, I had to get that one too. So I'm hoping these two, the Botero or red perfume de Provence in a climber, and also Edith Piaf here in a climber, will help solve the shortage of me having a really fragrant red climber. I actually didn't know that they made these versions in climbers also. I guess it happens when they either combine some certain rootstock or it is a natural occurring mutation. But I really wanted to try these two out as climbers, because I know they have the fragrance also. So yeah, that was one of my why not moment, but I also had a even more crazy why not moment, I think. It is because I also saw André Lenotre as a climbing rose, browsing these French websites. And Andrea Lenotre is apparently also very fragrant. And I have bought it now both in the regular version, and now I'm also going to try it in the climbing version. How it will behave, no idea. That's why I call it my why not moment. But we will try it, and maybe it'll succeed, maybe it won't. But I'm really hooked on having a climbing red perfume de Provence. But yeah, there's also a rose most of you have really been interested in me getting and me trying. And yeah, you guys will know it. It is Jean Lafontaine or Martha Stewart, I also believe it is called. A lot of you have been really hooked on me trying this rose because Milan has really been promoting this one on fragrance. And I thought I had to go get one simply because so many of you requested this rose. So we're getting this rose also for next year. And with the way both Milan and a lot of people have been praising it, I'm looking forward to seeing it. But yeah, let me just have a look at my list here and see what else I got. Oh yeah. One of you also recommended me to get Camille, I think it's called Claudel or something like that. See if I can spell it right here. Yeah, Camille Claudel is also one of those really new Milan roses. And they're supposedly very, very fragrant. So can't hurt to expand our Milan collection. The worst thing that can happen is I'll have to make a new Milan tier list sometime. But hopefully we can stretch that to next year. Yeah, I'll probably have to do an updated list at some point to include more roses. But Camille Claudel also is among the roses that are arriving. And let's just see here what else. Yeah, it was a Guillieu rose. It occurred to me when I was doing the video where I did 16 breathers. It occurred to me I didn't have a lot of his roses. And I thought I really wanted to fix that and to get the roses he says are his most fragrant roses. And apparently one of them is one called Martine Guillieu. See if I can write it here. Luckily, Google saved me here. That happens a lot. But yeah, also supposed to be a very, very fragrant rose from Guillieu. So I don't know much about it. He just says it is one of his most fragrant. And yeah, I'm willing to try another rose from him. That's really what it boils down to. And then we have another one. And this is actually one I didn't try with my red roses. But a lot of people are apparently also very interested in, and it has perfume in the name, so maybe it can't go all wrong. But it is a red rose that is supposedly very fragrant. No idea if it's true, but well, I'm never going to say no to another fragrant red rose, really. But what is the next one here? It is one called, oh yeah, it is another Guillieu rose, actually. It is Chantal, I believe. French can sometimes be tricky. Chantal G. Let's see what the last part was. I think it was something like that. Yeah, we succeeded. Chantal de Miro, I believe, or something like that. Miro. Yeah, it is again supposed to be one of the most fragrant Guillieu roses. So we will try that one. I was kind of like looking at his website and seeing what he recommended, and a lot of he has this collection called the Generosa Generosa collection, where he recommends a lot of fragrant shrubs. And spoiler alert, I actually think I'm more than doubling, maybe even tripling my collection of his roses this year, because I have also bought a lot of his yellow roses. Spoiler alert. Yeah, what is the next one? It is. Can see if I wrote Tabaka, or I'm going to assume it is like the part of South America or something like that. Not sure where the name is from. But there's this French rose breeder called was it Odore or something like that? Odor or something, Odore. It is a small breeder I haven't tried a lot from, and this white one really kind of caught my attention. So I thought I'll try that one. And then there was another one called Claude Brasseur, I believe. Hopefully, before doing the review of these roses, I'll learn to pronounce them next year. It's always the toughest when you have to remember a rose the first 3 times. And this one is supposedly also very, very fragrant. I can't remember if it was this one or... Yes, I believe it was this one that actually had USPSG in the parentage, and also Charles de Gaulle. And if you have tried both of those are actually very fragrant roses. And this one was listed as extremely fragrant, and I think that's very interesting when you know the parentage of it. So I'm really curious to also try that one. And then we have another new Milan roses, one called Donatello, I believe. Was it an A or an A? No, it was an A at the end. And let's just see here if I can get the correct one here. Yeah. It is also, according to Milan, one of his most fragrant new roses. And of course, if you people don't already know, we are also going to try Capricia rose from Milan. I don't know if it's here. There's one or something like that. I don't know what happened here. Capricia rose, but we're trying the Capricia rose from Milan. Also one of his most fragrant modern roses. And then we are trying another one from Milan that's called Angong, I believe. Also supposed to be one of his most fragrant modern roses. And of course, we are trying a lot out in the Perfume de Provence series, a lot of the older roses he has made. And even some rare ones from the Perfume de Provence series I managed to get a hold of. And yeah, what else did I have? Did I have more on this list? No, I actually think that was it for this one. Yeah. But we are trying out a lot of different roses, and I'm not done buying all the roses yet, but there will definitely be more roses. I'm also kind of wondering how much I want to buy of Guillieu this year, or if I want to save his roses for next year, because I do have a lot going on for 2026. So I also need space, and I need to replace things and stuff like that. Usually I can cram about 120 roses in per year. But I'm starting to get at the upper limit of what I can have, and that will be really the deciding factor if I'm going to do his roses the coming year or the next year, really. But I'm really interested in that climbing Botero rose or Red Parfum de Provence. If that one is even manages to get on the other side of 2.5 to 3 meters tall, and it keeps the fragrance and it keeps the health and the reblooming, then that will be an amazing rose even as a climber. It's sometimes also I see some websites sites right that you can use Chateau de Chivigny as a climbing rose also, because it can get up to about 2 meters, I believe. I've not tried that myself, but I can for certain say that the blooming habit on Chateau de Chivigny is very, very dependent on it getting the right height. So I could definitely see it also maybe being able to cover a 2-meter obelisk, if that is what one wants to do with it. I'm actually considering buying one more and trying it out as a climber also, because I think that could be really interesting. But it is a more slow-growing climber, so it's definitely, if you want to do an obelisk with it, you should probably expect it will take 3 to 4 years before it's fully covered. But I think you might be able to do it with Chateau de Chivigny. Use it as a climber also. So yeah. But was there anything else I wanted to say? Well, not really. I'm still planning all the yellow roses for next year, and you all know that I'm looking to beat Poet's Wife. I'm looking to find something that's more fragrant than Poet's Wife, and there's some extremely good candidates. I've been buying yellow roses from all over Europe, from big breeders, from small breeders, from so many different countries. We're going to do exactly the same thing we did with the red roses, and yeah, I'm still looking to get well, I want to, maybe if I can do it next year, I want to find 1 to 2 good red or white roses also on fragrance. Because I never like any good pink roses on fragrance, sadly. The pink roses on fragrance, they just tend to find me without me going looking for them. And that's just how it goes. There's so many wonderful fragrant pink roses. I also saw, when I browsed the websites in France, I also saw that something like US Pichet, you could get that in many different colors. I think it was a pink color also, one of them had, or something like that. Yeah, you could get it in so many colors. I actually believe there was like 3 colors. There was also, was it a cream color or something like that? You can get US Pichet in. I can't remember if it was a cream color. Yeah, cream color. Yeah, correct. I just thought I would mention that because that was also something I wasn't aware of, that one actually exists in so many different colors. So it's actually been quite fun for me going to all these French websites, because so many variations of French roses I didn't know existed. You could buy on these different French websites. So that was really fun checking out, because this one is a really fragrant rose, and I actually think I want to get if I can ever get my hold of this cream version, I actually want to try it, because if it just keeps the fragrance and it's cream, then that's a very good fragrant rose, to be honest. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much it for today. Have a wonderful Christmas out there, and take care.
This is fragrant roses. Welcome to my world, where old perfumes and gentle swirls unfurl. Come breathe with me and feel the quiet rise. There's a whole life blooming right